Nah, not today.
Father, please, you can have my Led Zeppelin records, George Michael, anything.
That's my boy!
Wimp.
I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia.
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news, even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light on all the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander War. Don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
What can I do? People know the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tom Fury. Is it still morning? It is kind of still morning, isn't it? Just about. I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. It is slightly chilly wind, but it's still warming up where I am. It's not been getting to its hottest until later on in the day. There's a cold sea. There's a cold sea that keeps feeding it. But with that said, I came out with really light coat on, and the sun is making it feel like summer. You could get burnt in the sun really easily. So it's really strong. So I know the moment I find a piece of land without wind, it's just going to feel super hot. So beautiful day, beautiful day. It's like I say, it's still warming up where I am. There's a couple of things I want to address. I've got nothing major to say today. I just want to talk about Rupert briefly. But before I did, I want to address a couple of other things. And one of them, I'm kind of, but I'm raising the energy to address it one last time, and then I'm done. One of them is Paul Fort made his stupid post about how, and I thought maybe Paul Fort hasn't been, when he's been talking about his detractors, maybe he wasn't including me because he's pretended not to know who I was. All sorts of things. And when I say pretended, the reason I say that is because he's been on my channel arguing with me the day before, pretended not to know who I was. So, and he's been over to my channel multiple times arguing with my viewers. Not me so much, but my viewers. So when he talked about detractors, I assumed he meant me, as well as other people. So for the best part of, I don't know how long it's been, 5 months, at different occasions, I've said, actually with relatively, no, I'd say with very good open-handedness and without aggression, that, hey look, maybe we would get on. If we had a conversation face to face, maybe we actually would get on. I've been open-minded enough to consider that as a possibility. Even though it seems unlikely on the surface, to be honest, but But, you know, with him coming on my channel and with him, and that when he first came on my channel, that was, again, I think it's about 4 or 5 months ago. And again, my channel's got, you see how many subscribers it's got. This is very odd for someone with his amount of subscribers to come down and do that. In fact, it's almost unheard of, really. But it's fine, I don't mind. But his post today said that people had refused to have him on their channels. And there's two things. Again, one, I've already described that I've kept trying to cross that bridge. And just the other day, when he was making that very claim, when he was sat in his car, something that Spawn and Justice for 100, and probably Paul Thorpe's own mods could attest to, because they were told as well. I was sat right in the chat saying, well, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. And I wasn't rude. I wasn't, you know, so didn't do anything that would kind of make it distasteful to talk to me or anything else. And I'm okay if he doesn't want to talk to me. And he can pretend not to know who I am, but then come over to my channel and attack people, and so he does know who I am. He knows who all of us are. Like most people with his amount of subscribers would be like secure enough in themselves not to bother with channels our size. We would literally just flick them to one side and say, I don't care what you think. Like seriously, it's if our roles were reversed, I would just be like, I don't care what you think. But he's a good YouTuber and he understands how to monetize drama. Like a lot of things that he says, but others are also true about him. And I'm not even saying that as a nasty shot against him. He knows the game and he knows how to play YouTube. Like there's a reason he's got as far as he has. It's not altruism. You know, there's a game that is played and he's good at it. I'm going to give credit where due. You know, but yeah. So sorry. Get back to the original. So his claim that people won't have him on is based on him going to channels when they're in the middle of interviews or live streams where they're doing their own thing. And only his fans and him think that he's important enough to gate crash a stream that somebody spent time and effort planning, for him to just turn up and think that he's got a right to go on and speak when he demands it. That's not free speech, it's compelled speech. And you've considered yourself so entitled and so important that if it's not right now on your terms, well, that's not at all then. Right? Okay, well, that's hollow victory then, isn't it? It's a really hollow victory, if that's how he sees it. But yeah, you know, I've offered him to come on, and I'm not offering anymore. I offered the other day, you know, again. And like I say, I was on this channel and offering, and I came to my channel and offered, you know, in good faith, by the way. It wasn't a nasty off, in good faith. And he's never going to take it up, which is fine. But I just think you therefore don't get to make posts saying that nobody has got the balls to have you on the channel, because it's patently untrue. And other YouTubers, one I really like, there's a great British, I'm going to get the names wrong now. I want to give them a shout out, but I'm going to get the names wrong and I don't want to butcher their names. That's worse than not giving them a shout out at all. I'll get it right next time. But there's other channels that I respect that he's sort of accusing that as well. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a few pussy channels as well. I believe that, but there's other ones as well that, you know, I just don't think he gets to make that claim when he hasn't backed it up. That's all. I'm not upset that he hasn't spoke to me. You know, it doesn't bother me. I'm just bothered by the claim. That's all. And the other thing that people have tried to lecture me and go on at me about, and that's Vindicator's channel being, sorry, I think I've turned the chat off by mistake. Vindicator's channel, have I? Yeah. Vindicator's channel, the hits that he took. Again, this is not Paul Thorpe's fault. This is not Paul Thorpe's fault, right? But because Paul Thorpe made a post saying it's the YouTube algorithms that's caught you, a lot of people, because he's got a lot of subscribers, believe that. They're running with that narrative. Again, I'm not blaming Paul Thorpe on this. Other people should look these things up. Paul just gave an opinion. But when it's a community strike, it is quite a literal term. And the problem with YouTube, the same way our government works, is that the word sausage can be considered to be hate speech if the right people complain about it. And that's the way it's been for quite some time now. So, no, community strikes come from the community. They dogpile you. So, this way. They dogpile you, and therefore you get a community strike, which means it's come from outside of YouTube. So, for all those people trying to lecture me on how YouTube works after I spent 8 years here, I don't know all of the rules, I must admit, but you're wrong. The algorithms don't catch it in the same way. It wouldn't come up as a community strike. So, no, it's incorrect. Now, Rupert Lowe. Hi everybody in chat. How you all doing? Great to see you all. Rupert Lowe. So it comes out, the party's been made official. And there's just something about the way he carries himself, isn't there? There's just something about the way the man carries himself. And do you know what? People can call me a sellout, a shield, whatever else, but I'm backing him. I'm behind him, because there's just something, you know. And if I get led down the garden path, it won't be the first fucking time by a politician. But he seems, you can only go on what people are saying, right? With politicians, so far he seems good to his word, and he seems not only to have the right arguments, but the power and the ability and the experience to back it up. What I loved about what he said was, no matter how much of an uphill battle, he didn't say this, this is my take, no matter how much of an uphill battle, he said that they were going to try and win the next election, which is good, because what I didn't want to hear, what would have disappointed me, is if he'd said, no, we know that's unrealistic. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to hear, nobody wants to hear that. So he's in tune. That already shows he's in tune. Yeah, nobody wants to hear let's be realistic. Shut the fuck up. We've heard too much of that moderate bollocks. Like, if enough people get off their ass and mobilise, anything's possible. It's about mobilising people. Can he do that? Well, at the moment he already is. Does that keep scaling? At the moment, yes. So the next stage is, I don't know exactly how it works in this country. Maybe someone else in the comments could put a better explanation than me, but now he's an official political party, he has to get a certain amount of media coverage. Now, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but Gerard Batten, when he got into all this, was probably the worst placed man to really, as smart, as intelligent and everything else as he was, it just wasn't going to work. Rupert Lowe, and I'm talking about with or without numbers, Rupert Lowe, I think if you get some little dumb presenter trying to call him racist, I think they'll regret it. Don't you? I mean, it's got to prove that yet, but I think that what's going to be hopefully good about him, from what I've seen, is his no-nonsense approach. And because of that gravitas and that gravitational pull he's got, I can see a lot of people, if they do, again, I'm not sure how it works, but they've got to give some kind of fair media coverage to the political candidates. And political candidates are only supposed to officially spend a certain amount on campaigning, although that's often breached, it's my understanding. But so it'll be interesting to see the way the media handles this, because we fully expect them just to go on the Nazi angle, right? But that could really backfire, and probably will. And even the media aren't stupid, so it makes me wonder, are they going to try a more nuanced gotcha moment, or are they going to try and disgrace him with some other kind of, off the wall kind of thing? Or are they going to embarrass themselves live on air? Are they going to take that risk with someone who obviously isn't going to be afraid of them? And the people should be afraid, in as much as if you are of the people that thought you could keep the agenda going and just keep things going in this direction forever, and that the British wouldn't say enough is enough, I think there's a clear message from people now: you're in the way. It's been said, for the cheap seats, no one's looking to go on a race rampage and chuck every single person out the country. That's ridiculous. In fact, I've heard foreign people talk about our problem, and their solutions to our problems are barbaric. What they think we should do to the people coming here, whereas we just want to send them home, especially the criminals and people like that, and people that have come here to wage a religious war or otherwise, all kinds of reasons, and very few come down to race. What do you think? How do you think the media are going to handle Rupert Lowe? Surely they must be looking at him now and thinking, shit, how are we going to handle this guy? If we start calling this guy far right, like they do with everybody else, he may just pick them apart. Do you not see? Do you see the same thing? Do you see the same potential? So do you think they will? Do you think they'll go there at least in front of his face? Do you think they'll go there? Do you think they'll go there? If it's shown that he's got support of millions, do you think they'll go there still? It'd be very interesting to see how they handle this, because although they got their agendas and everything else, they're not stupid. They're really not stupid. So my old mate Vindicator, I addressed it, didn't I? Good to see everybody on. By the way, I want to thank everybody as well. So I did the video earlier on asking about Zionism, right? And so far, somebody will probably come ruin it now, but if they do it after I've said this, then they're just doing it to troll, right? But all of the comments on there, pro and against, were respectful. All of them, 100% of them. And first of all, I want to say thank you. It proves that talking about these topics doesn't have to be a toxic affair. And it also proves that talking about these topics has been made toxic by people that would not have you talk about them at all. And again, the question is why? Because when you truly don't have a problem with anybody, which I don't, then it's okay to ask questions. When you're not coming from a place of racism, which I'm not, I'm curious. I want to know. I want to know the truth about things. As I said to you, from the technical background, I'm there to notice problems, fix them. You can't help that. And with the lying thing, you can believe what you want about me, but lying, I said to you there was a psychological reason yesterday. Survival is the psychological reason. we won't get into all the ins and outs, but survival is a psychological reason. I never knew this, I never used to know this. But when you're put in a position of survival, you will read people's body language and everything else with a lot more intent, and you don't sort of lose that ability. So with certain, you see me, a lot of passion will come out of me, admittedly. Beep, beep, beep. A lot of passion will come out of me. But there's certain YouTubers that are literally doing what... Sorry. They're literally doing what they're accusing others of. And she just put me off now. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Let me recalibrate sensors. Oh, anyway, I've forgotten now. Fucking dog. It's not her fault. It's the first time she's been swimming in absolutely ages. But yeah, and one thing I will say is there's a lot of uncomfortable conversations, and I'm beginning to now, like I wondered 8 years ago, but I deferred to those that claimed to have more knowledge than me back then. But now, thinking for myself, there's a lot of topics that do you know what I used to say? I used to do comedy back in the day, believe it or not. And I used to say, I take the piss out of myself, I take the piss out of everybody. And as long as I'm indiscriminate with that, taking the piss out of people, that's what makes it all right. Even you've got to include yourself in that, though. Yeah? And so, you start to realise, as much as these people that we've had around us, I'm not saying everybody, I'm not, so it's not a massive call out or anything, but I'm just talking about, like, your YouTube life. These people go on about free speech and stuff like that, and you realise that it's not entirely true. It's not entirely true, because there's certain subjects you've been told, and you've been led to believe it's for good reasons, and I've realised that probably some of it is fear of bad ideas, which is not a good enough reason, and fear of potentially good ideas, which is something of a crime. We've got to discuss everything to have an open, we're never going to have a fair world, but an open, fairer world where we truly all understand each other and things like that. We've got to stop the bullshit. All people are doing is blindly protecting other people without, there should be some discrimination. Yeah? So, there should be some discrimination. There should be. And let me explain. A white man or a black man who have committed multiple crimes should not be treated the same way as a white man and a black man who haven't. There's discrimination for you. So yeah, we should discriminate. We should discriminate who comes into this country. So based on their criminal record, on a lot of things. And right now, see, the most lunatic argument I've ever heard from people is that everybody's got a right to be here, which is, I don't even start on that. But let's imagine I opened up a restaurant and it was, say, 40 seats, and then I come out and let's go, fuck the bookings, everybody's got a right to be here. Like 900 people have tried to get in the restaurant at the same time. They destroyed the restaurant. They would destroy it night one. Brilliant. That's kind of what we're inviting here. And when I say inviting, remember, after Starmer refused to talk about the grooming gangs, after he, literally about a week or two afterwards, he then actually doubled down and said we needed more migrants. And pretty much sent a message out to the world to say you're welcome here. Like, we're literally inviting them. It's not a conspiracy theory or an exaggeration or a joke. We are literally inviting them here. Now, even if they weren't the cause of so many problems, why would you, at the moment, with a country that's unstable, invite a load of people in from areas that, again, some of these areas you either can't fly to or are in red on the holiday list? Yeah, it's beyond a joke. Anyway, let me catch up with you guys and then get out of here because I'm getting really dry. I hate the fact that I can't see all the chat on here. By the way, to Getter, I'm sorry, Getter, that you have probably not had all context for the conversations going on, especially if you're in the US. Something we'll have to address somehow. I want to put more time into Getter. You know, we've been growing over there for a long time. So yeah, I'm going to figure it out, guys. Okay, so Getter and YouTube at the moment is where I'm at, but I'm going to figure it out. The problem with Getter is they haven't upgraded. I think they just upgraded their studio now, but up until now they hadn't upgraded their studio for maybe about 5-6 years. So I'm going to see what studio upgrades they've made, and hopefully we'll be able to use it in a better way in the future. Hey, Mikey B. Morning. Is it still morning? I hope so. Anyway, anybody got anything else to say? Don't forget to check out Vindicate Strikes Back 8777. Sorry. If you appreciate anything I say, and you wish to give me a chance for the future, you know, my videos are low-fi at the moment, right? I'm a video editor, and I normally would expect better from myself. But the truth of it is like, rather than putting all that hassle on my back that nobody's expecting of me at the moment, I'm just more concentrating on getting the right videos out. So as things get bigger, then you scale to what you need. So the window dressing, if you like, will increase. But again, it's to scale. At the moment, it would be an inordinate amount of time spent on that, considering the output, and you know, so hope you understand what I'm saying. Woo! Hey Tina, good to see you. Do you know what, I'm wearing this coat? What did I say to you earlier on? There was a cool breeze. Now I'm grateful for the cool breeze because I can barely breathe. It's really warm. It's like I'm not gonna say a summer's day because I can feel there's a dome of cold air like about a few meters above, but it feels like an early summer or spring day for sure. Beautiful. It's beautiful. There's a lot of water up in the air though. There's a lot of water up there, so I don't know if it's going to change, but the skies at the moment are saying change. We'll see. The skies can lie sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. Alright guys, and again, thank you for your response on the Zionism post. You know, I was worried it might end up being one of those, you know, things where it goes wrong and everybody just starts getting out the guns, but it didn't end up like that, and that was really cool. And it's an example of how these subjects don't have to be taboo, they have to be toxic. People just can discuss them like adults, and you know, again, I think you all proved a lot. So thank you for that. I was really kind of, I don't know, made up with it. I think it really proved a lot because I didn't say a word until afterwards. That was just people being people, and they chose not to go down that road. So I was really, really chuffed. Thank you, and thank you for all the support. Thanks for all the new subscribers. You know, sometimes my content could be hit and miss. Hopefully it's more hit. Yeah. And I'm always striving to get better. And any critique or anything else like that, you know, please feel free. You can contact me on thisiszeronews@gmail. Oh God, I'll get this right. I used to be good at this, you know. thisiszeronews@gmail.com. My mouth's dry, and it can take me a little while to get back to your emails, but not ridiculously long. So yeah, if you can get hold of me that way. Right, Jesus, I'm probably been carrying this bag in my hand rather than putting it on my back. It's not helping. I'm Tom Fury. I'm Tom Fury. This is Syrian. Hey Missy, hey everybody, if I've missed anybody, have a good day. Enjoy the sunshine while you can, because you never know in this country. I'll see you soon. You may just be about to miss me having a heart attack. So, I don't normally get tired when I walk, was my point. I'm joking, but I never get out of breath on walks. Especially not since I gave up smoking, so I don't know why I'm out of breath today. But anyway, right, I'll catch you soon, guys. Probably just because it's too hot. I'll catch you soon, guys. Tom Fury, Zero News, calling it a day for now. Whew.